Hi, I am Stephanie J. Block.
And I'm Merrily Fairbanks.
Welcome to Season 5 of Stages Podcast,
where we go behind the scenes and beyond the resume.
Join us as we talk to some of the greatest talents from theater, TV, film, and more. And then check out stagespodcast.net for past episodes, merch, and so much more.
and love where you are now. Hey, listeners. We've done a little bit of research here at Stages Podcast, and we found out that a lot of you who are listening are not actually subscribed to the podcast. So I want you to take a second, and I want you, wherever you're listening, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever, look down and hit that follow button for us. It helps us more than you know. And if you're feeling really generous, go ahead and leave us a review. That helps too. There is so much to discover every day at the Museum of Broadway. Come explore 3 floors of dazzling costumes and props from your all-time favorite shows like Hamilton, The Phantom of the Opera, Rent, Wicked, and many more. It's the only place that you can get up close with Broadway's history from 1732 to the present day and learn how a show is made from Broadway's biggest icons. It's perfect for all ages. The Museum of Broadway is a front row seat and a backstage pass all in one. Visit themuseumofbroadway.com for tickets today.
What part do you think that you've played thus far is the closest to who you authentically are?
It might be Kristoff.
It might be. And you may have to leave a message. My daughter right now is young Anna in our local production of Frozen Junior. So maybe at the end I can twist your arm to leave her a little message.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, anytime, anytime.
I say this person's name and I smile. I hear this person's name and I smile. He is the truest example that good things happen to good people. Spring Awakening, Glee, Hamilton, Frozen, Merrily We Roll Along, Doctor Who, The Matrix. These are just a few people. These are not just shows. These are juggernauts, creative and lasting forces that mark a place in time and pop culture. Today's guest has helped shape these masterpieces with heart and talent and range and soul. He's been recognized and awarded for his craft a Tony Award, a Grammy Award, Emmy nomination, and I'm sure there are so many frigging more to come, but I believe his legacy will always be the love and the respect that the Broadway and entertainment communities share for him. It is unanimous that Jonathan Groff is good and kind, and he's silly, and he's mushy, and he's ridiculous, and he's brilliant, and he's loyal. And he's currently preparing to transform into Bobby Darin for this Broadway season's highly anticipated musical Just in Time, where the hits of the legendary Bobby Darin will be crooned to perfection, and where the heart and soul of Jonathan Groff will move you to swoon and then ultimately smile. Please welcome to Stages Podcast, Groff Sauce himself, Mr. Jonathan Groff. Jonathan Groff to stage, please. Jonathan, can we have you to stage?
That was the most generous, kind, thorough,
truthful.
heartfelt intro I've ever. That was so sweet.
I
can't believe
only
all
know 2 people that exist with this truly universal love in this community, one of whom was one of your loves, but you and Gavin. Those are the only 2 names that hold that sort of love affair with anyone that you speak to. It's you and him. That's it.
You know what it is? It's like a fearlessness.
I'm already crying. This is like too much.
What it feels like is a fearlessness to show joy and love. And that's, I think, what both of you possess. I remember I was there the night you won your Tony.
Did you cry? Because I did.
I totally cried.
Okay.
But what struck me so strongly was, first of all, just the pure joy you have for your craft, but also the deep love you have for your family and how And you just share it so shamelessly, which I think is so brave and beautiful and what the world needs now. Really, truly.
Julie
Thank
and Jim.
you. Oh my God, you know their names
Well,
even.
I kind of feel bad for your brother because it's like Julie, Jim, Jonathan, and is it
David.
David? Poor David.
Poor
Why couldn't he
David.
be a Jesse or a Jamie? I felt like he was not invited to the club. Poor David.
Poor
So
David.
funny. He's fine. He's okay.
Horse
He
people
moved
are really
on.
lovely people, though. And your family are horse people.
They are, yeah. Lancaster, PA. My dad trains and races horses for a living, still doing it
Wow.
at 72 years old.
Oh,
And
wow.
Wow.
gym teacher, field hockey coach, just really great people. Yeah, it was really that night getting to share that with them was really epic. And they let me dress up like Mary Poppins when I was 3 years old. This was what I really wanted to say, especially in a time of like the shame of people
Yep.
dressing up and playing pretend and men dressing as women and all of that. And there they were in Mennonite Amish country in
Wow.
1988, letting me dress up as Mary Poppins for Halloween with a carpet bag and everything and lipstick. And there's a video of my Mennonite grandfather. We're at their house before going trick-or-treating, and he's like, "Oh, Mary."
Oh my God.
Yeah, but just like so life altering. I mean, I think I am comfortable in my own skin in a profound way because of that, because of them, because of that self-expression that I got to
Yes.
have as a kid.
I always tell when I teach a master class, everybody's like, what's the most important thing? Being comfortable in who you are. So, look, we talk about therapy a lot on this show, but if it's therapy, that's going to get you there. Because if you're going to put on other people's cloaks of character, you have got to love and figure out who you are, what triggers you, what fears you have, all that stuff before embodying something else. So to
Mhm.
know that this 3-year-old spirit was always encouraged to be like, you be you, babe. You be
Yeah.
you. You always have you in every single character you play. There's Jonathan sparking through.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
see
Mm.
it too, don't you?
It's funny, like like there was that moment when I was in middle school, high school, and I was closeted, even through Spring Awakening.
Ah,
And it's like I had it was like acting was a way of escape, like both being who I was but escaping in a way. There was like a therapy in the
Mhm.
like I was going to the arts and going to performing to express
Process.
things that were like compartmentalized. I think in
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I just
understand that.
started going to actual therapy like for myself only 2 years ago. It's
Wow.
been amazing to not have to not have performing feel like an escape, but almost like a kind of, like you said, we put on these roles and we take them off, and understanding I don't feel like I'm escaping any longer. I feel like
Mhm.
I'm like
You're
going
free.
more towards myself. Yeah. There was like a freedom in the escape, and now there's a kind of freedom in the like you said, bringing my own self to it. It was like once I came out of the closet, to bring it back to Gavin Creel, largely because like I came out publicly because we were together. I was still in the closet, and then Broadway Impact, that organization that he
Sure.
started, that he
Sure.
co-founded, did this March on Washington in DC, and he brought all the Gavin, like got all these buses to go down to march for marriage equality. And an interviewer from Broadway.com asked me like who I represented, and I came out of the closet.
In that interview.
In that
Wow.
interview, in that
And you
moment,
weren't expecting to, it just came out of you.
I wasn't expect I was yeah, I was out at that point like with my personal life, and I was dating
Mhm.
Gavin, and everybody knew that, all of our friends knew that we were dating, but I hadn't like said it formally in an
Publicly.
Sure. On a
interview,
public sort of
a public
format.
thing. And I have this very vivid memory of standing there and being asked that question and looking over to my right and seeing Gavin with a giant bullhorn, like corralling people because they first asked me and I like froze. And the interviewer, she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And she like moved away from me and was asking other people questions. And then I looked over at Gavin and I was like, I mean, part of it, it was like part of it was he was so out and I was so inspired
Mm,
by who
mm.
Mhm.
he was as an activist and all of that. But even more than that, I was just so in love with him. And
Oh,
I felt like I would rather be like out and express this feeling than act.
yeah.
It
Do
just
you know
like it
they
makes
have a
What?
sense.
word for that? You
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. When there's no other English
Yeah,
word that can
exactly.
contain the feeling. Let's go back to Mary Poppins,
Totally.
shall we?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Bringing
yeah.
it around. But
That's
can
right,
I
And
baby.
ask
then
you
it was freeing. It
what
was like becoming more free as an actor. Like that was the surprising thing. The more and like you say, I'm sure to the master, like in the master class, like the point you're making is actually I became a better actor because I was out of the closet and because I was suddenly ready to bring into the room my complete whole self. And
Mm-hmm.
that
Mhm.
is when I felt like I really started to truly evolve as an artist.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I'm wondering though, what what was it that held you back from coming out? If you had a really super supportive family, what was the fear for you?
They were really supportive of my acting and supportive of me like performing, but it was not like being gay was something that was totally uncomfortable for them.
Mm.
And that was like a journey that we've gone through, like coming out to them and them over years accepting and embracing it. And
Mm-hmm.
I think just growing up in a conservative town in Pennsylvania, there was like maybe one out gay person in my
Mm.
high school when I was there. And yeah, I just never felt like there was a lot of I guess shame, secret shame and not wanting to stick out and like hilariously, I was like in all of the musicals, could not have been like gayer in what I was like into, like obsessed with like musical theater soundtracks. But
And Barbara
uh
Streisand. I
and
mean,
Barbara
the
Streisand,
signs
yeah,
were there.
yeah, I mean, the signs are dressing up as, I mean, all the way back to Mary Poppins. Come on. Uh,
What?
it was hilarious. Like my parents were surprised. My brother was surprised when I came out to them in 2008. But yeah, it was just like I think it wasn't even like they had told me growing up to my face that it was wrong to be gay, but it was just in the air. It was just
Yeah.
Mhm.
in the air
Well,
and where we grew up and yeah.
proximity equals understanding and empathy, right? So if there's just one person in your town
Mhm.
who is
Yep.
gay, then it's a lack of understanding and therefore it's foreign and strange and perhaps wrong. And proximity allows for that understanding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of
So
course.
true. Even and then as recently as a year ago, last spring, in my hometown, there was a drag queen story hour that got canceled in Lancaster because of like a bomb threat and people protesting it.
Oh, I think I read
So
about this. Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so in the when I left Merrily, I contacted the Lancaster Pride. There's this huge Lancaster Pride. Like Lancaster is quite like accepting, and they have this big Pride organization, and every year in June, like a Pride celebration. And so I connected with them, and I co-hosted the Drag Queen Story Hour in the autumn of this year because of exactly what you're saying about proximity
Yeah,
and just like sometimes people are scared of what they don't know and
Right,
exactly.
that
right,
like
Exactly.
trying to educate people that a drag queen reading books to kids is like a beautiful, wonderful,
right.
creative, amazing thing. And so even still like in my hometown, we've come so far, but there's still that energy there of just a lack of proximity.
Mhm.
Totally. You know, as
Mhm.
little kids, it's called anticipatory anxiety because they don't know what they're walking into. They don't know what they're going to be met with. And as adults, we're really just big kids as well. So if we've not been
Yeah.
exposed to it or been there, you know, if
And
you're telling me I'm going to foreign country, I am going to be scared. And there's going
yeah.
to be all these what ifs, what ifs, what ifs
Yes.
that
Yes.
overwhelm the reality of it.
People
Exactly.
prefer to stick with what they know, even if it makes them unhealthy and unhappy,
Yeah. Yep.
because it's what they know. And anything that's outside the realm of what you're accustomed to, what you're comfortable in, is very disturbing and disrupting for most people. And
Yep.
It's
I think
embarrassing. Growth is embarrassing and uncomfortable. It's like,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
what
yeah,
if I say the wrong thing? What if I sound stupid? But it's part of growth. It's part of it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
and the more, like you say, you put things out there for people to sit in their discomfort and realize they
Mm.
can come out the other side, whether it's through
Yes.
therapy or exposure to things that you don't understand, then, the better the world will start to become.
In myself, it's like I'm also confronting my own discomfort of being out and interact and going back there and having that kind of like heated, uncomfortable presence and conversation with people that you think don't understand
Mm.
you, don't understand me. And it was so inspiring actually to be in Lancaster. We did the drag queen story hour, and then we did a pride event, and it was like hundreds of people
Mm.
and local Lancaster drag queens and trans people that live in Lancaster that I was like, oh my God, I felt so moved to
Mm.
just to be around that community and see that there. And I was reprogramming my assumption of what it's like there. That of course those people are also there and they're working through living there. And it was really and so inspiring and a total education for me as well.
And it sort
Yeah.
of circles back to what I was saying about your Tony speech. When you can live courageously in joy and love and not be afraid to express it, no matter what form it takes, it gives other people the license to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It gives them
Mhm.
courage. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for saying that.
And we will be right back.
You got to Broadway early 20s, which was major. And it wasn't just like this. Well, you had done a play before. What was it called? In the Life. No.
In my life. Oh my God,
Yes.
great memory. Yes, in my life.
And she was not long lived. So you did get to taste, because I was mad. Let's be honest. That Spring Awakening cast came and you were all so bright and shiny and you got all the best reviews and you were like on Gap billboards. I was like,
This was the year
what?
of Pirate
The-
Queen. You were doing Pirate Queen this
yeah,
same
honey,
year.
I was singing 23 songs in like
And-
19-pound costumes. And I was like, hello, we're here. I know they're wearing cute slips and tie-up boots and they're all sexy.
Forget about those children.
So it brought me, I don't know what is it called, Schadenfreude or whatever it's called, but it brought me great joy to be like, okay, thank God his Broadway debut was not Spring Awakening. He has tasted a bit of,
Yeah.
failure is
Some
not the right
defeat
word.
before
A
the
little bit of
success.
defeat.
Little bit
a
of
little
defeat.
bit of defeat.
Yeah.
Cut you down
But
a
was
little
like
bit.
Spring Awakening just a massive whirlwind? Like, what the effity F is happening?
Oh my, what
Or
the
is
F?
that what you imagined in your young spirit and mind Broadway to be? Like, was it this
No,
sparkly, all hits, all good reviews, all the time type of image?
I was expecting, I just wanted to do regional theater. I thought I was moving to New York to get jobs, at like Goodspeed. And
You're
I
doing
wanted,
Mendel at Pittsburgh Playhouse. That's what you're doing.
yeah, exactly. But seriously, I was like, the year I moved to New York in 2004, I was taking gymnastics classes at Chelsea Piers because I was like,
What?
maybe I could do the flips across the stage in Mary Poppins. I wanted to be in like the ensemble of Hairspray. I was like not thinking about amazing role, original musical. But Spring Awakening was like cool. I was a musical theater nerd. I was not like what I was vibrating at was not the vibration of Spring Awakening, which was like a kind
Mm,
of indie cool thing. It was, and I kind of like morphed into like whatever that was in order to play that, but that was not
okay.
I would like my internal experience was like
Hmm.
I
You were not her Bruce. Be my Bruce. You were not her
exactly,
Bruce.
yeah. Melchior the Ro yeah, he was like a rebel. He was
Yeah.
like stood up
Beat
to
me.
authority. Like I was very everything happens for a reason. Sunny disposition. This was like a total. I remember at the audition feeling like I am not this guy, but I think if I really worked hard, I could do this. So it was
Okay.
like a real acting challenge, and it was not what I ever, it was like way more than I ever anticipated I could get to have, especially at that age. I was 20 years old when I got cast
Oh
in.
my gosh, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, 20. I was 20. And then it was my college. It was my like learning so much about acting and 8 shows a week. It was like the gift of a lifetime to play a great part for
Yeah.
2 years. It was
Yeah.
like it was everything.
I
Um,
Everything.
had heard about Spring Awakening that at one point the audiences just weren't coming. This was pre-Tony, and that you guys would look out and it was just a sea of purple velvet out there.
Yeah.
really?
And the producers stuck it out because they really believed that if they could just get to the Tony noms, that things would turn around. Is that true or is that just lore?
No, it's completely true. We actually made this documentary for HBO called Those You've Known that came out like 2 years ago. And it was really gratifying we did this 15-year reunion and they recorded the performances, but we had also asked them to interview everybody since we were all coming together to tell the story of the show. And that's a piece of the story that they tell in this documentary. It was like we could not we during previews, it was, I mean, our stage manager Heather would come over the intercom and say like, "Hey, you're going to see a lot of Purple Velvet, but just so you know, this is more people than we had at the Atlantic. The Atlantic Theater was like 200 seats, and she was like, but this is like
Mm,
400 of the seats are filled, so it's actually double what we had at the Atlantic,
mm.
although less than half of the house of the theater." And yeah, I was in my dressing room in previews and I said to Michael Mayer, our director, I don't know what I'm gonna do to decorate it. And he said, I wouldn't decorate it because I don't think we're gonna be here for 50.
Oh,
Wow.
aha. Yeah.
So, like, your expectations. Then we got great reviews, which took us through like March. We opened in December. That took us through March. And then it was like empty houses again.
Mm.
And it was really like, I mean, we were squeaking by, and then the Tonys happened, and then it became a
It
huge
changed everything.
Yeah.
changed everything. It
Exploded.
was really, the
Wow.
Tonys saved the show.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
it was.
wonder in this day and age, because I'm going to make a big, bold statement. I don't know if the Tonys save shows anymore. And maybe that's because there's too much streaming, too much content, too much noise. But
Interesting.
I love to know that what the Tonys are for, which is to amplify and give a platform for our beautiful craft to
Yeah,
actually make a difference. And that year it really, really did.
it changed everything.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it was the before and the after. For those 6 months, I think it was why, like, also we were so bonded as a cast, and everybody really kind of there wasn't any like ego, like drama. We were all like just hoping our show would last. We
Hanging
never
on.
Mhm.
we
Yeah.
never felt like a hit. It was 6 months until the Tonys happened, and we never felt like we were in a hit.
Wow.
It kept us all really about the work.
How illuminating, because from the outside looking in, all I saw was like success and ads and
Mm.
awards, and you guys were everywhere. And I just was like, when I'm old, I want what they had. Isn't that something? The point of view of where you're looking and how
Yeah,
the narrative can change from
Oh,
being the
yes.
outside,
that's
inside,
true
a
for
visitor.
everything.
I
That's true for
know.
everything. Vantage
How
point is everything.
amazing.
But I
Now,
wonder too, because what happens now is a lot of shows hold out to open until end of March and all through April.
yeah,
And
December
I'm
opening's not
wondering,
easy.
yeah, I'm wondering now because so many shows explode in March and April. That's when they start to
Yes.
open now, and I think
Yeah.
that that's part of the
Oh,
strategy.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm a good old October, December opener, and I got to rethink this shit. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to be like, we're going to do April the 1st.
What's the cutoff day?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So I've already told you my daughter is doing Frozen Junior. I have to know everything about Frozen because I did go in for the audition when was it called like the Ice Queen or the Ice Witch? It
The
wasn't
Snow Queen.
Frozen.
Yeah, the Snow Queen, I think, because it
Snow
was,
Queen. Yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
And I thought, ooh, this is good. Again, much like Wicked. Whoever gets this, they are going to be so lucky. Guys, spoiler alert, it was Adina again.
Oh my,
Um, so I don't know the like holy quintuplet. I only know four of you, but I do think I would be super good friends with Kristen Bell. Will you just
oh,
tell me a
you
little bit
would.
about her?
Wait, you guys haven't like,
No, I know
No.
you, Josh, Adina. I mean, I was just on the phone with Santino a couple days ago. We're working on something, and I was like, I feel like Kristen Bell and I would be
Pals.
buddies.
totally would. You totally would.
Oh my God, could you throw
Yeah.
like a somebody's baby shower and invite me? Because I
Of
think,
course. Yeah, come
thank
to
you.
my birthday party. And I haven't decided that I'm throwing it, but yeah, come to my birthday.
And are you guys doing a Frozen 3? Can we like just
Think
expose that
so?
right here, right now?
They've like announced that there's gonna be a Frozen 3 and 4, I
Oh
think.
my
Wow.
gosh.
Yeah, but I don't know anything. I don't know anything about it other than that.
Now, when you signed for Frozen 1, did it say N2 and 3 and 4, or did you all get to renegotiate?
Oh yeah, renegotiating.
Nice.
And like when it was the Snow Queen, like that was after Tangled had come out, and Tangled had like done well, but it wasn't a huge juggernaut.
Right.
And so they were not all, I don't think anyone was anticipating either that Frozen was going to be such.
Change the world, like literally change the face of Disney. You guys are getting a
Hmm.
land. Disneyland is putting in a Arendelle, Norway frozen
Are
land. Yes. Do you get free tickets? Can you go anytime you want?
I don't know. I gotta look into
What is wrong with Could we
that.
prioritize these things? Go open your show and then again, Kristen Bell, you and me, we all go to
My God,
Disneyland.
let's go. You would love her. She would love you. She is a boss ass bitch.
I
Oh
love
yeah,
boss
I
ass
love her.
people.
I
Oh
love
my
her.
God, such
I
a good
loved
person.
her in The Good Place too. Oh God, that show was
Oh my
so
God, yeah,
great, and she was
she
so
is.
good in it.
And she's a theater girl.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I
She's
know.
a
I do
theater
know
nerd.
that.
She also is a beast. Like she live is complete perfection. Like I mean, which she just hasn't done. Like, when are we gonna get her? Like when she came to see Merrily, I was like, Kristen, like, when are you gonna? But she has her kids in LA right now. I
Yeah.
Yeah,
think
sure.
older. She can come back and do Broadway because she's such a consistent. She has that gift. She can do it live.
She
She can
can
do
do
it
eight
live.
shows a week.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you're about to do it. You're about to jump back into 8 shows a week. So I'm going to talk a few things. His voice is like smooth and caramely. Okay, so right away, I want to know, do you have to do anything to prep or change or find a different placement? What else did I want to know? I didn't get to do enough homework on him. Like Cher had a real gait and her body does interesting and very unique things, as does Liza's. So that was a whole different study. Does his body do different things when he sings and walks and all that stuff? Tell me everything.
Oh my God. It's so funny because I just have been watching a lot of Liza with a Z recently.
You
Mm.
have?
Yeah, obsessed with Liza with a
Isn't
Z.
she terrific? Isn't
And just have to quick sidebar, you were so incredible as Liza. You
Mm-mm.
were freaking
You're
phenomenal.
nice.
And
You're
then
nice.
obviously like Cher and like the way that you embodied those two people, like it's masterclass acting.
But you're doing it. So tell me
Okay,
what
so
you're
what's different?
finding and
What's
mining as you're
different?
doing it.
Yes. Okay. So 8 years ago, Ted Chapin asked me to do a night of Bobby Darin music at the 92nd Street Y. This is how it all started.
Oh my gosh.
And he was like, I think, to check him out and like see what you think. And I was like, oh yeah, Bobby Darin, like Mac the Knife, I knew, and Beyond the Sea. And I went on YouTube, and what I was struck by, we were like at dinner. We went to see Natasha Pierre in The Great Comet of 1812. He told me Bobby Darin. I came home that night to my apartment, and I opened up YouTube and I looked at Bobby Darin, and I was like, what? Because is like a chameleon. He has
Mm.
so many different voices.
Hmm.
So,
Jazz and country
yes,
and
yes.
crooner. Yes, yes, yes.
It was like I'm watching, and he has so many different ways of expressing himself and performing and moving. So, but even just from like the sound wise, the voice that is singing Splish Splash, which he also wrote, by the way, that song, the voice that's singing Splish Splash, and the voice that's singing Beyond the Sea, and the voice that's singing Mac the Knife, and the voice that's singing If I Were a Carpenter are like four different voices. He's a total like musical chameleon. But what struck me even more than that when I'm watching him live is this like primal, he had this primal thing of like I'm watching clips, black and white clips of this person performing, and I want to cry. I'm moved
Mm.
by this need. I've really connected to his sort of primal passion as a performer that I'm watching
Mm.
clips. So then we're developing this thing at the Y, and it's a lecture. We're kind of talking about Bobby Darin's life and then singing his songs. And Alex Timbers comes on to direct it. And we were talking about if we turn this into a musical, potentially. Like let's like what like if we were gonna play around with this. And then I was then reading this book called Dream Lovers that's written by his son, Darin, and talking about how Bobby Darin was a nightclub animal and that he was an Oscar nominated actor and a Grammy winning performer and he was a producer and a writer and all of these things, but by all accounts his he was at his like the height of his powers and connected with his extreme genius when he was live in the nightclub, particularly at the Copa. So we were talking about turning a theater into the Copa.
Mm.
I felt like I want to start the show now as myself. I want to start as me, and I don't want there to be a kind of wall between me and the audience. I want
Yes,
to,
break the fourth wall. First of
yes.
all, I have a theory. Mary Lee knows it. You
I've
break
heard
the
the
fourth
theory.
wall, you get a Tony nomination. It just happens. Doesn't matter. So again, I'm never opening in December,
Oh my
and whatever
God,
role I
And I
get,
will always break the wall.
I
Yeah.
will be
that is
always break.
hilarious.
No, go back in history. I'm
That
not
is
saying that your nomination, which is bound to come, is not going to be warranted, valid, and
But
pure
this just
merit.
seals the
But
deal.
this
This
seals
seals
the
the
deal.
deal.
my
This
Seals
seals
the
the
God,
deal.
that
deal.
is hilarious. But I was like, I want to break the fourth wall as myself. I want to
Yeah.
bring us all. I want to bring this audience. I don't want the audience to be in the Copa in 1958 and feel like they're extras and
Right.
in a period thing. I want them to. I want us all because this was his thing. It was like, and you see it when you see him perform, and it's why he was such a brilliant, like, especially jazz singer because it was like all about the present moment. That this was his like
Mm.
special gift, which maybe is related to the fact that he was told he was going to die when he was 16
Well,
years
that's what
old.
I was going to ask, if that visceral feeling was always with him because he
Because
felt
any
like he
moment.
was borrowed time. He might not
Yeah.
make it much
Yeah. Yeah.
further, so
Yeah.
he really stayed in the moment.
Yeah, I imagine, and he was always negotiating. I mean, he was sucking oxygen backstage. He was like
Wow.
always. It was always every cell that was able to perform could, and he was like negotiating his health.
Wow.
So bringing everybody into the present moment, and then telling the story of his life collectively with the company it's like inviting the audience to go back and like we're all here we're doing this
Mm.
show join this is why I'm connected to this man why I feel connected to this man and now let's tell this and then I become him and so they're
Mhm.
like and the interesting thing about as I've studied him as a singer like what you're talking about the sound or the placement is like every time I've watched him or listened to him sing Mac the Knife he sings it different every time, but
Mm.
you know that but it's his version every time. Like
Mm.
which I think speaks to his immediacy and his in the moment performing. So there's like goalposts, there's certain things that he would do with his hands, there's ways that he would snap, there's a certain like physicality that we're embodying, that we're working with.
But it was
Shannon,
always like fluid. It wasn't specific.
Wasn't
it was
frozen.
specific, but it was never set.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And when he was dancing, he was like such a phenomenal dancer. Like the way that he moved, it was like kind of Jack Cole-esque, kind of like
Mm.
jazz, late 50s, early 60s movement. He toured with George Burns, so there's a lot of like old school
Oh,
Amazing.
vaudeville, like
oh my
but
gosh.
like sidestepping and like and the jerk was happening and he stole shit from Elvis and he used all these different things and we did 10 weeks of dance training before our
Oh,
first day of rehearsal.
wow.
3 days a week. And we're looking at clips of Bobby Darin and we're watching him on like Hullabaloo and then we're watching him on Ed Sullivan and we're watching him age and we're watching the way that like with the different styles of music he would move in a different way. And so
Yeah.
it's like that is all a part of but he was a shapeshifter.
Mm.
So it's like the joy of playing him is that I get to like chameleon into so many different styles and
Oh, I love that
sensibilities.
for you.
Do you talk about how political he was?
Yeah, in the second act we talk about I mean there's so much like he slept like in the like RFK like he was like there like sleeping
Yeah.
at his grave. He was so like tight with him and had a mental breakdown when he was like assassinated.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we talk about that. We talk about that period of his
It's
life.
interesting too, because there are a lot of parallels between the shape that our country is in right now and the shape that the country was in when he
In the
was at his
60s.
pinnacle. Yeah. I mean, there's,
Yep.
all
Yep.
kinds of parallel. The division between people was
Yep.
very similar, with the
Completely.
Vietnam War and the race
Yes.
riots and everything else. And he was a big part of all that. I mean, he marched on Washington. He was at Selma, Alabama. He was
Yes.
very political.
He invested in all of that. Yeah.
He was a feisty Italian. We feisty Italians.
Yes.
We showed
We
up.
love feisty Italians.
Show
I
up.
mean, what is it? It's Walden Robert
Casado.
Casado.
Yes.
Casado.
Eh.
He looked little though, sexy as hell. But little, was he a little guy?
He was a little guy, incredibly frail, bald.
Huh.
What? That's a wig he's wearing?
That is a fucking rug
That's
on his
really
head.
good.
It's like,
Look
yeah,
at
he
your
was
head of
so,
hair
like,
though.
I w-
That's a good head of hair, listeners.
he got like he would wake up. He was like, I wake up as Bobby Casado, and I put my hair on, and I leave the house as Bobby Darin. That was his.
Wow.
That's
Oh,
the other thing too. Like
wow.
Bobby Darin was this persona that he inhabited, that was who he was. I mean, he's
Mhm.
got also this. I don't know. I don't want to spoil it for people who don't know, but he had a big like extreme tragic family revelation, and he was always trying to kind
Oh,
of.
right. Yeah. I read that.
Oh,
He
with the
was a person,
grandfather. I'm not giving it
Don't
away,
tell,
but it's
don't
the
tell.
grandfather bit.
Grandmother.
Yep. Oh,
grandmother,
grandmother.
yep, like a family
Don't
secret.
tell.
And
Don't.
he was like this trying like who he was as a person and his health and his like always and then who he was as a performer, this like superstar guy, like melding those two things together was such an interesting thing. And so getting to getting to be myself and then become Bobby Darin also
It's very
feels
meta.
very kind of like spiritually who he is. We're trying to evoke in a way because of the relationship between performer and audience, like the energy of Bobby Darin, even more so than like literally who he was exactly. It's like we want people to leave with the feeling of what he brought into the singular energy that he brought into a room.
Who wrote the libretto? Who wrote the book?
So it's co-written and Isaac Oliver. I met Isaac 10 years ago. He sent me his book called Intimacy Idiot. He's kind of like a young David Sedaris, and he
Oh my God,
wow.
my
I love
favorite.
David.
yeah, so you got to get Intimacy Idiot. So Isaac
Okay,
sent me his
okay.
book, and we met and became friends. And he joined the project like a year ago. And Warren Leight, who wrote the play Sideman,
Oh
he's
yeah.
been with the project for years. So Warren and Isaac are co-writing the book, and
Ah.
it's I think
Wow.
it's really special. Yeah.
I think it is very special. You're embarking on, are we allowed to say? Well, Wikipedia gives it all away. The
Yeah.
4-0. Are there like personal and professional goals that you have for that decade?
Not yet.
Okay.
I
The
I
40s were really good for me. I think I'm so excited for everybody that enters into their 40s. I think it's just a really
Hey, in
great
what
time.
way? Did you have goals? Did you have things that
I had some goals, but I also was just so secure in my own wings that I let life do what it needed to do, knowing that regardless of what was going to come my way, I had been fortified in such a way that I was ready. I was ready to take on the wind that blew me this way, or making my nest that brought my child, or the
Mm,
branch that broke unexpectedly. I was like, I believe in myself in this decade, that maybe there weren't specific goals, but I just was inviting and ready and strong to take it all on. And
mm,
it's been really good. It was good. Now I'm in a whole different, situation.
It's really interesting, Steph, because my 40s
Yeah.
was not my strongest decade. My 50s was.
Oh, good for
interesting.
you.
I
Well, I
think
still
my
love.
40s were extremely challenging for me.
Wow.
I found the
Mm.
40s to be tumultuous and challenging, and not, I felt like
Yeah, but
everything was
didn't
an
you feel
uphill
like you
battle.
could do it? I'm not saying it was easy. We had a major pandemic. Like,
The
Mm.
things
40s was
happened.
harder
I
for me. 50s has been like,
Interesting.
I call my 50s my renaissance, my rebirth. I feel like I get to reinvent my whole life. It's great.
Oh my God,
Mm.
I love that.
Yeah, it's really been fun.
I did a play with Estelle Parsons. We did a play in London, and she was in the apartment above me, and I would like go up and drink wine with her and ask her questions. And she was saying to me, she was 78 when we were working together, or
Yeah.
maybe she was in her 80s when we were working together, because I think she's in her 90s now. And she said that the 50s were
Mm.
her turning point decade,
Mhm.
and partially because that's when she started lifting weights.
Oh, good.
My
See?
husband's been making me lift weights.
Because as menopausal women, that's what we're
God, he
supposed
is
to
going to be
do.
so happy that you just said that because all I
You
do is
guys,
Yeah,
complain every
but
time he drags me to the
I'm
gym.
doing butt tucks
it's
right now,
inspiring.
and you
It's
don't even know.
inspiring because it's like that. Like she said, using her body, suddenly her pain, her arthritis, like everything that was creeping in
But it's more than
went
that.
away.
When you squeeze the muscles and build the muscles, it actually helps with depression. It helps your mind.
Yeah,
It releases
sure.
chemicals that make your mind healthier. For
Yes.
me, the 50s too have also been very strongly about letting go of old patterns in my life. I feel like, how they say every so many years, every cell in your body
Yeah.
is
I think it's
rejuvenated,
every
right?
3 years
Something like that. I thought it was
yep,
7,
yep.
but whatever it is.
Let's go
That's
3.
what the 50s feel like to me. Like I get
Ah,
to reinvent every rebirth that happens to me from the top down. And
Okay.
I
ah,
feel smarter than I've ever been. I feel like my
ah.
brain is better. It's crazy. It's
That's incredible.
yeah, I love the 50s.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there
I'm
you
heading into
go.
the 60s. So we'll see how those go. But
Ooh. Like going into the 40s, this dance training that I've had with Shannon, like and the doing this body warm up and learning how to point my feet and learning all these like all this choreography and all this dance
but you were
and starting
already a dancer.
not
A
really.
great
I don't
I never really like I've never danced the way that I'm dancing in this show. I've never like really danced
Interesting.
before.
I don't
And
think the opportunity has ever presented itself for you. So now's the time. How exciting for audiences to see your pointed toes.
and then and to feel a cellular level the way that it can expand out and the way
Mm.
of expression. And I'm looking at my keyboard and my electric drum set as well. I'm starting to learn those instruments.
I was going to
And
ask if you learned how to play the drums for this. Yeah.
yeah, I am, yes. And those like pathways that I can feel in my brain
Neural
from
pathways.
and the enjoyment of that, the pure joy of sort of what we were talking about at the beginning with the uncomfortableness of learning new things or
Mm-hmm.
accepting things or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and being bad at things and messing up and being in the dance thing with Shannon and slowly over time starting to get it, but so much failure and awkward embarrassment on the way to growth. And maybe it's like what you're saying, Stephanie, about like not caring,
Mm.
like not like having a core like of the tree, that like centered thing where you can fail or flop or whatever, but you're sort of like, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
don't
yeah.
bring me all the way down. Like growing out new those new learning new things and
There's
feeling like
actually a physiological reason that happens. When you force yourself to do things that are challenging, that you don't want to do, or that you find very uncomfortable to do, you actually grow brain matter.
oh,
So when you,
I feel it.
yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah,
and it
You
makes me
do.
feel happy. Like I'm going into the like I went and like going into the 40s dancing like that, and it feels like okay, more growth. This is
More
what
growth.
it
that's
just
so
like
great. You're in your
it's
body in a whole new way.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's so
Exactly.
nice.
We got to do this. So previews start March the 28th.
Yep.
Oh, it's in Circle in the Square. Have you ever worked in the round before?
I got my equity card at North Shore Music Theater. I think that was
Yes, you
the last
did.
time I worked
Yes, you
in
did.
round.
Mine was Sacramento Music Circus. That's where I learned the round. Yes, baby.
Mine was
Oh,
What did you do
Guys
at
and
Sacramento
Dolls.
Music Circus? Oh,
guys and
yours
dolls.
was dolls.
Oh, I did Who's the Gal? Shoeless Joe from Hannibal Mo from Damn Yankees.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Then I played Polly and Crazy for You.
Hmm.
Of
And
course.
then I would never be able to do it now, but I played Rosie in Bye Bye Birdie.
I have to tell you, I have
What?
been spit on by you.
Wow.
I was in the third row of Hamilton when you were playing the King. And it was one of the
Wow.
first shows I brought my son to. He had been to a couple of other Broadway shows, but he was young. I was with my husband and my son. And this is a really funny story. And we were sitting there and you came out, you were doing your thing. And by the way, you were friggin' genius. It was like the
Unbelievable.
best 8 minutes I've ever seen anybody do on stage. So
Unbelievable.
you came out, you were right directly in front of us, and you were singing. And I leaned into my son and I said, "This guy is amazing." And you heard me, and you looked at me and directed the rest of the
Oh,
song.
did he break the fourth wall?
No,
Is
as
that
the king. You just looked at me with that snooty little look that you had put on your face when you were doing the king, and I was holding my son's hand. I was like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!" It
Oh
was the
my
best. It was
God.
so much fun. It was
And
so
then
much,
he
and
went,
to
You'll
have
be
my son there, it was just a blast. It was a blast.
You're
I
the
remember
best.
being I was in the third row of The Boy from Oz. Also, there
Third
was
row?
Did
I
Stephanie
was in the
spit on you?
third row. I was in the third row with my mom and Gwen Callahan, my former math teacher,
Oh, God
and
bless.
we were dying for it. You knew someone in the audience that night because I have this memory of you at the curtain call, leaving the stage, and you knew someone. They were like up in the box, and you were like, "That's so and so." I think with you, and he was like, "Oh, hi," and you
Oh,
were like waving them. Anyway, I have this memory of you doing that. But my my
math
Gwen Keller,
teacher?
my former math teacher,
Mhm.
sneezed during a very dramatic moment during
Oh.
like one of Hugh's like monologues, and he said, "God bless you." He like stopped and said, and she was like,
Oh my God.
and he said, "Don't feel bad. It's okay."
She
And we
was
were like,
mortified.
yeah, he was. I mean, that was also a performance.
Ah, oh my God. Okay, last touch upon, and then we ask five
Okay.
questions, and then you go on your with life. So
Okay.
Miscast is coming out with the Studio Sessions album. I was very lucky to be on the album because they're celebrating 25 years. What song did you sing for the album?
Waiting on a girl.
Oh,
And Jeremy Gordon did "Let Me Be Your
oh,
Star."
I love
Oh,
it.
love it.
And how timely.
What
Yes.
did you sing?
What is it about her from Wild
Oh
Barbie?
yes.
Yes.
Oh,
This
yes.
album is going to be a banger, y'all. Pick
Yeah.
up the album for
Wow.
sure.
Oh my God, that's exciting.
Don't go away. We'll be right back with the 5 questions.
If your life is a book, what is the title of this chapter?
Of this chapter?
Where you are right now.
Okay, I'm gonna use a lyric from Splish Splash. I went and put my dancing shoes on.
Love
Nice,
it.
nice. Okay. You've been arrested, thrown in jail, and we call somebody to come and get you out, your parents. What do they assume that you have done? to get yourself tossed into jail?
Sodomy.
Yep.
No, that's the
That's
first sodomy
right.
we've had. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Okay, your perfect sandwich. Don't say sodomy. Can't use the same answer for two questions.
Okay, I'm salivating. It's so there is a local chain in Pennsylvania that I worked at in the kitchen called Isaac's, and the sandwich that I would get there was called the ruffed grouse.
Mm.
It was like there was some sort of special sauce, and I think it was like turkey with coleslaw and cheese and some sort of special sauce on like a sesame seed bun.
Oh, and
Yum.
anytime there's coleslaw on a sandwich,
It was a tie between that and the Finch, which was on rye bread, and it had like again, it was turkey meat, I think. The Finch or the ruffed grouse at Isaac's.
okay.
Okay. If you could wake up tomorrow morning with a superpower, any superpower, what would you pick?
Flying. Flying. Oh my God, wouldn't that be amazing?
We get a lot
Yeah.
of flyers.
Yeah.
Yeah, flying.
The FAA though, so we'll have to work on that first because I need to protect you at all costs. All right. If you were a
Thank you.
nail polish color, so nail polish color, what's the color? And then what's the cheeky little name that goes along with the color? Do you know what I mean?
Has to be green in honor of
Oh.
Sally Bowles.
Mm.
And it would be called maybe this time.
Look at you having
Oh.
answers. I got to tell you, a lot of our
Quick.
guests, yeah, they go, I'm not
I
sure.
have to do a lot of editing normally.
We have to edit.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm talking playwrights, composers. We're like, you people are the creative minds of the world. What's going on? And then Jonathan's just like, bam, baby, bam.
No, yeah.
It all turns to gold when you're Jonathan Groff. I think the
God.
world of you. Thank
Oh
you.
my
Thank
God,
you
this
for
is
your
great.
time.
You both. Thank you. It flew by. My
Flew
God.
by.
It was so
Okay.
fun. It was so great to meet you. So
Oh my God.
lovely to meet you.
Great to meet you
Yeah.
too. What a lovely
Yeah.
chat. Thanks for everything.
Thank
Thank
you for making the
you.
time. I know how busy you are, and good luck tomorrow going into the theater. Yay.
Yeah.
So
Thrilling.
exciting.
Bye.
Bye. Coming up next, what struck a chord? Dreamy. 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 He is so dreamy.
What are you doing right now? Are you smiling?
I'm
Because that's what
smiling.
happens.
I know. It's ridiculous.
And now for the rest of your life, when somebody says Jonathan Groff, you will feel this sort of like feather
Dreamy.
tickle in your
Yeah,
chest. Yes.
dreamy.
And you will smile.
Adorable. So we're going to, when you come in May, we were going to go and see
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, and we'll go see this.
I love it.
All right.
Great.
Date.
It's a date.
It's a
Yeah.
date.
I
Oh, I'm
mean,
so
let's get in
happy.
touch and start getting these tickets because
Mhm. Uh-huh.
yeah, when I was I mean, I know him. I love him. We used to sing at all the little places together, and he's again one of those personalities, much like Ben Platt or Leslie Rodriguez Kritzer. You would cross the street, you see each other, they always stop, they always hug. It's always maybe brief, but it's personal and true and authentic. And
Mhm.
anyway, he's just a gem of a freaking human being. And then you put on top of that, you look at somebody and you think, gosh, they did that. That was their major moment. Or even someone like Adina, you go, oh my gosh, Rent and
Mhm.
Wicked
Mhm.
and Frozen.
Mhm.
And then you think of Jonathan and you go, Spring Awakening,
Mhm.
Glee,
Mhm.
Hamilton,
Mhm.
Frozen, Doctor Who, The Matrix. Like these
Ridiculous.
are really mammoth franchises, right? He's got his handprint on all of these franchises. It's
You know,
wild.
I meant to say this to him too when I was reading about him. I heard him say in another interview that he's noticed that a lot of people create out of, trauma,
Yeah.
and that's their expression to heal, but he
Yeah.
never has. He creates out of joy and
Mhm.
always has. And
Mm.
I just think that's what you feel. You just feel it with him, like, and just in a conversation, you feel it with him. He is truly a joyful person. The art comes from truly a joyful place, and it's
Contagious.
it really is contagious. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Anyway, that was a blast.
We are the luckiest. We're just the luckiest
so
to
lucky.
interact, even for an hour, with these extraordinary people. And
It's the best.
he's at the top of my I gotta hug him and I gotta hug him soon kind of list.
Well,
And
watch
then
out in May because we're gonna be
Kristen
hugging him.
Bell. And,
Yeah. All right, well, we need
let's
to
try
be
to get
friends with
tickets
her.
the same night with Kristen Bell.
All right, there it is.
My friend,
right.
I love
This was
you
great.
beyond. This was great. And
Love you too.
start calling up for tickets. Calling up for tickets.
All right, lady.
Bye.
Bye.
Stages podcast is produced by Mary Lee Fairbanks and Stephanie J. Block. You can find us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Join us on social media pages or sign up for the mailing list at stagespodcast.net. That is also where you will find Stages swag. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share and rate and review the show. It really helps us grow. Big thank you to Noah Kaiserman and Garrett Healy for the original music, and Allison Arns, who has been with us since day one. See you soon.